Hello, my fellow artist. Are you 40 or older? Maybe you're not 40, but you can still listen to this. Today I want to share with you how I became an artist at 40 and how you can too. Because you might be having a different story. You might be painting daily or creating, but feeling like you can't call yourself the A word, right? Artist kind of has some connotations, but I didn't go to art school. I didn't go and do the fancy courses and tutorials. I learned from YouTube, a lot of practice. So today I'm sharing with you how I became an artist in my mid-crisis years. I don't know if that's how I would say it, but I'm middle-aged. That's crazy. And so hopefully can offer some encouragement and some excitement for you if you're in the same journey, whether you are 40 or 30 or 80 or somewhere in between. So let's get painting. So I'm spraying down my palette right now just to get all the colors activated. I've got my sketchbook here and I've got some masking tape that I'm going to go ahead and line my edges so that I have a very nice border for my composition here. And we're not going to be painting all around the flower, but I like to do splatter, and it's nice to reserve some of that white space where the splatter won't go, and it just adds a really nice clean look. So if you're noticing here, I take my masking tape, I lay it down, and then I just rip it off at the bottom, holding it with my thumb. And that's how that works. It's a nice thick border. I've got this paper. It's just a cheap pulp paper in my sketchbook, so nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. I've got my water jar and several brushes. We're going to start off with my number 12 round brush. And I'm just going to now with a wet brush, just swirl some really light color. And before we talk about how to become an artist at 40 or after, we're just going to start swooping our petals. So I'm kind of going with the side of the brush here just to create some really nice wispy petals, and I'm going to get a broader stroke if I use the side versus a pointy stroke if I use more of the tip of the brush. So we're just swooping, you know what I mean, where it's not just this stick straight petal, but we're just kind of adding in quickly these beautiful loose light marks to create the shape of the poppy. This is that first layer. And then when we go in, when it's dry, we're going to add in some darker layers to create multiple petals. But right now, wet on wet, I'm just adding more paint into it just to create some dimension here. And that's kind of fun when we're painting something like this. So the first layer, don't worry so much. What I wanted to talk about was, of course, how I became an artist at 40, and maybe your dream is to become an artist after 40 or at or way after, maybe even before. I'm actually grabbing a number 8 round at this point, and I'm going to get some green and start adding in my stem, which is going to curve around in the painting. So for me, it was really important to watch a lot of YouTube videos, and that's what really helped me to learn how to watercolor paint. By the way, here's kind of the reference I'm using on Pinterest. I'm using it just in general, but we'll add in some details. I don't like to just keep it to that. So we're going to do a bunch of leaves right now. Just those C-curve shapes, really loose. You can even just have very watery paint. I'm adding more water now to my brush, and I'm leaving a little white space. So just kind of not being too worried about it, but putting in these C-curve shapes to create those leaves. If you want, you can add in different colors and different shades of green. I've got some blue added in there. So just start to fill up that bottom section of leaves as we're chatting, and you don't have to copy what I'm doing. Just do this to your heart's content. So watching those videos, they're free, it's risk-free, you're not having to spend a bunch of money, but look for the things that you love, that inspire you, that you want to learn to paint. If it's flowers, what kind of flowers do you want to learn? Do you want to do loose flowers or realistic flowers? Maybe you want to do landscapes. Follow the artists that really make your heart sing, and be faithful to practicing. As you keep practicing with other people, you'll start to find confidence that makes you feel more like an artist in your own work and starting to do your own thing. Now I've got some more concentrated paint here, this nice light yellowy green, and I'm just going in wet on wet and adding in a little bit of dimension, a little darkness here, just for some fun as everything is wet, and that's a fun little look. Now I'm grabbing a little more concentrated green, and going in and adding in some more of those leaves just around the flower to fluff it up. So the second thing I would recommend is that just you need to have a very strong desire that you want to be an artist, okay? And I'm drying this up real quick so that we can do our second layer. I just wanted to show you how I do it. Dry it until it's dry, and then you get to that second layer here. I'm still using that larger round brush, and I'm grabbing some more paints. I've got pink. I can add some orange to make it kind of a peachy color. Really whatever colors you want to use, but you're just going to go a little bit darker than you did before. So the paint is a little bit thicker, it's a little less water in it. And you can even change up the colors, so you can do kind of a pinky one. We're just swooping around, shorter brush strokes. I'm trying to show this multi-petaled flower and really poofing it out. And so I'm using a variety of colors here, but keeping it fairly light. This is not really dark paint that I'm putting on here. So if you have that strong desire that you want to be an artist, it's going to motivate you. Maybe you write down some signs around your house. I am an artist, or I'm going to be an artist. It took me 2 years before I decided to call myself an artist. And I don't know if that was the right thing to do or the wrong thing, but that's just where I was at. That's just what I was feeling. And it felt really strange to use that A word for myself because I just felt such a lack of confidence. And now I'm grabbing some green, and we're going to start adding in some more concentrated green and just kind of blobbing on that paint. This is a very loose floral composition, so just have a lot of fun, make some contrast. I added some blue to my green. So the next thing that would help you in your artistic journey to become an artist is to share your work online and to start teaching. So a year and a half into my watercolor experience, I started putting myself out there. I was reading, people were saying, just post on Instagram, tell people your story. Enjoy just teaching them what you do know, because if you know just a little bit more than someone else, you can teach. You can teach them something. And so I started doing reels and putting up just different photos. We're adding in some really thin stems here just to connect our leaves, in case you're wondering, as you're keeping up with the painting here. And so if you can share with somebody else, you can brighten up their day and encourage them in your watercolor journey. That's going to help you feel like you are a teacher, like you are an artist, especially getting that feedback. And don't worry about it being 100% perfect. We're not here for perfectionism. We're just here to share and to learn as a community. Another way to become an artist, whether you are younger or older, or adding some splatter here, by the way, some orange or pink, whatever you'd like to do, is to connect with other artists. So again, we're drying this down, and then for our third layer, we're just going to go over this with that center. So really nice, thick yellow paint to create the center of this flower. Connecting with other artists can help you feel like you have a place in this field, like you know what you're doing, like you have something to offer and to give back to the world. Doing just some little stamens, some just curly little lines and pieces to complete the center of this flower. And if you are able to maybe just ask questions, just reach out on Instagram, send a message to someone you admire. They might respond and ask advice. How do I grow my YouTube channel? How do I feel more like an artist? How do I find my style or my inspiration? Grabbing a little bit of darkness here, you can do a dark brown or a black or navy and add in some darker pieces to that center. If you connect with them and you reach out, you're going to feel more like part of the community and not just alone. So the next thing is to just call yourself an artist. Like I said, it took me 2 years before I did, but guess what? There is a definition of artist out there that will fit where you're at. I'm just doing a little bit extra of a darkness to this flower here. I am working quickly. If you need to pause, please do. I also wanted to say, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a like. It lets the algorithm know we're having a good time. And feel free to share in the comments too, where is your struggle with feeling like an artist? Do you feel like you can call yourself one or not yet? The definition of an artist is simply somebody that creates art, that creates things, and whether it's for work or a hobby. So if you think about that, it's a pretty amazing thing, guys. I am done with this painting. We did it quickly. If you need to go back and review, absolutely you can. Taking off the tape is such a pleasurable experience. The next thing I would say to become an artist, to feel that, is to seek inspiration. take reference photos, find inspiration from reels and tutorials, gather that information together, because that's going to help you find your artistic style. It's going to come little by little, but first and foremost, remind yourself, if you create art, you are an artist. Call yourself an artist. That is who you are, and embrace it. That's the first and best step that I can offer you. All right, guys, I hope that my story was a bit encouraging for you, and I hope that you enjoyed painting the peony as well. Something simple, something relaxing, and just know that you can use the A word and it's okay. Especially if you create art, you're an artist, and don't let anyone tell you differently. I want to also let you guys know that I have a free watercolor workshop. Yes, I'm starting them again, coming up this Monday morning, at least for the United States crowd. And so if you want to join, it is free. Click the link down below and you can register. And if you can't make it at that time, we will send you a replay. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. And any other resources, my art retreat is linked below. We're going to Italy in October, still have some spots open for that. My Patreon and everything else that I do. Click down below and take a look at all the fun stuff. So thanks for being here, you guys. Happy painting, and I'll see you soon in the next tutorial.